attention, Aquarius I am. We in the Aquarius age for the next 2,000 years, you dig?
Swing low, time to move on. Light years in time, ahead of our time.
I want to free your mind by helping you understand the zodiac signs. That's right, you're live with Aquaman in the zodiac zone where the cosmos is your home. I'm your very own Ampu, the real urban guru, coming through on the mothership. So let's open up your cosmic memory bank and swing down to earth where the shit stain. Hey, peace everybody. Welcome back to Hip Hop Astrology TV. I'm your host Ampu, the real urban guru, coming back at you, Aquaman. This is a redo, man. Y'all slipping. Y'all cannot let me be slipping on these videos, man. Shout out to K Bunny. I love you, man. I appreciate you. I was showing you the data was right, but I was showing you the wrong day of Jay's birthday. It was Puff's B-Day that was up. So you gotta double check me. Just because I'm dope and I do this and whatnot, I still want you to do the due diligence and make sure that this information is checking out, okay? Because it's a science. So in science and math, equations can't be wrong or the whole thing is just off, all right? So anyway, today's subject matter is a very dear one, a very touching one, very sensitive, by far my favorite topic by far. I'm talking about the science of love. Love is a science and we need to approach it from that, all right? So you will have my flyer here says calling all ladies January 28th, and my brothers are most certainly welcome to attend. All right, but it's definitely for the ladies. Be in the building. January the 28th, 9 p.m. It's a Sunday night. Get all your festivities out the way. Grab your girlfriends, brothers, grab your partners, grab your lover. Sit down, come to this free webinar, absolutely free, and learn this information and check out what I got to say. I'm telling you, this shit is a science, all right? Power couple or struggle couple? Power couple or struggle couple is the question mark, all right? I'm giving you the spiritual science of compatibility. How can you get in this free webinar? It's very simple. Two things. One thing, I'm gonna keep it at one. Join my mailing list, okay? myastrologycoach.com. As soon as you go to my site, a slider pops up. Ask for your email. Join that. The second part is on Thursday, and I'll explain towards the end of this video. This Thursday coming up, I am going to send an invite out that says, hey, join this free webinar. Only thing you got to do is click that link. Once you click it, I already got your email. Don't worry about the page that it takes you to, because it's just going to route you back to my site. All right, don't worry about that. Once you click, I'm going to the webinar, I got you, and you good, okay? And details going to come out Sunday, 30 minutes prior at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. All the details will be inside of that email, conference link, and phone number to call in, the link for the visual portion, okay? And so get in this webinar, man. So let's get started here. Excuse me. And so I started yesterday with, we need to understand that love is a science, right? And let's look at blood types. I said, you cannot cut yourself open, take out your blood, and go dump it into people's body. You can't do that, okay? Because certain blood types are compatible with other blood types, okay? That's a fact in of itself. That shows you that life is science, let alone love being science. One, we don't even know if we can share blood with our partners. That's a boo-boo. You need to know that. But I'm not saying that people who have incompatible blood types are not compatible. I haven't made that study. But a study that I have made and have saw is the following. If mom and dad does not have the same blood type and it's disagreeable in a sense, they can't give each other blood. If mom becomes pregnant and the baby has the blood type of dad, mom's body will see the baby as a foreign intruder. This kicks the mom over into hyper gear. Mom starts to go into this hyper state, and now after the birth, she can become anemic. possibly even one of the reasons of miscarriage if looked at correctly and closely. Okay, now I must say there's a way to circumvent that. Consciousness is the key. Your awareness, the things that you're doing, womb programming is very vital. Okay, because the body follows what the mind says do. Okay, and oftentimes the mind can follow what the body says too, because the body does have its own little thing going. All right. So blood types in itself is a science. We see that. Let's move a little deeper, and then we have to understand that we are light. I always say, and I'll say it again, you have a heartbeat in the brain wave, which means when the ambulance come because you unconscious and I feel that you dead, they're going to hit you with the shock paddles. They're going to produce or induce you with electricity to get you pumping again, to get your heart to generate that electrical current. So we can see at the core, you are really light. The issue is we don't understand or observe how light tends to work. Light operates like a battery terminal. It needs this thing that we call polarity. It needs a positive pole and a negative pole. It needs that in order for it to manifest itself. It later trickles down into something that we call gender, male, female. In this case, positive and negative have absolutely nothing to do with behavior problems and patterns. It just simply has everything to do with gender. I'm not going to give, well, I will. The positive means active pole. And then the negative means the female pole of reception, the magnetic pole to lure you in, which is really active because it's producing the vibe. All right. This whole thing is a debacle when you really understand the science of God. Okay. So we have gender. All right. Now let's go inside of the human body here because it gets very interesting. Like I stated yesterday, the woman has something called Gardner's duct. Okay. A Gardner's duct. The Gardner's duct is really the Wolffian duct. It's only named Gardner's duct because the guy who discovered it, they give it to him after his name. That's what science do. You made that discovery. We never seen this on the record book. Here, we're going to call it after you. That's some G stuff right there. But it's really the remnants of the Wolffian duct. The Wolffian duct, when you study it, at week 10, had the woman been a boy, at week 10, the Wolffian duct starts to develop into testicles and start to lay the urinary tract down for the male organs to develop. Okay? So really, the Gardner's duct or Wolffian duct is a dormant duct inside of the woman in the womb that is the remnants of her father. Because to get here in this reality, you must come through the product of two agencies, your mama and your daddy. Okay? Let's be very clear on that. So let's get into the men and go inside the body here. The man has something that is called, nowadays it's called the prosthetic utricle. I'm going to call it by the old name. It's called the vagina masculina. This is the remnants of the Mullerian duct right by his prostate. Okay. This is the remnants of his mother at week 10 in the womb. Had he decided to be a woman, the Mullerian duct will develop into fallopian tubes, ovaries, and things of that nature. So the remnants of his mother is inside of him. The remnants of the father is inside of her. How can you not be, again, when you come from both your parents? All this, the man was first and the woman was first, is a bunch of hogwash. You have to understand the Chinese know it already. It's called the one created the what we call the Tao or yin yang energy. Okay. The twin. And this is why in Genesis, they hit you with the twin story off the top. You have to understand the twin concept, the twin parallel. You think twins are somebody who look alike, but they're two different things, but yet they look alike, so they represent the same thing. You have to understand the trick of duality. Okay? It's just an illusion. You got to really understand it. All right? So now, let's progress and come out the body and look at something. All relationships, because now we're going to take this polarity of light that you are, positive and negative. We're going to take this polarity of gender in which you are, male or female, okay? And now we're going to superimpose these qualities onto human behavior. There's things that are destructive that we don't like. We call it negative. And then we have these things that we do like. We call it positive, good vibes. This is a fact. Now, when we look out into the solar system, I know for a fact there are certain energies that are positive, Jupiter, Venus, and I'm going to show you something, all right? And then there's certain energies that are really negative, Mars. So I just stay on him, okay? Very negative energy, all right? Now, all energies, planetary bodies, do have positive energies and negative energies. However, some of them have been styled and very noted for the extreme negative sense, okay? You can get the positive energy out of them, but however, they do carry, some of them carry a heavier negative side, hence the devil, the other side of creation that you don't like, all right? So, all relationships can be determined through a compatibility system that I developed, if it's negative or positive. Understand that, okay? Relationships, I can determine if relationships are negative or positive, and I'm going to show you one in a second. So I want you to understand, since a woman has two energies, she's female and partially male, and she does have a little bit of testosterone too. This is how you know it's real. And then the man comes and he's more masculine and he has a little bit of estrogen, a little bit of feminine energy, right? So she has two and he has two. And what happens is when these two come together, we have to know what's the maximum amount of ways that their energies are going to coalesce with one another. This is very important to understand because here lies the mystery. Here lies the solution to get you to become a power couple. Okay, so channel 1, I call it the female's energy is coalescing with the male's female energy. Okay, and what happens here is, this is very good. What is female energy? It's very loving. It's very soothing. It's walks in the park, meditation, breathing exercise, spirituality. It's connecting to your most inner intimate self and being clear on that particular bond. Okay, so it's a very soft, subtle energy connection, my favorite by far. Then you have channel 2, her masculine energy is coalescing with his masculine energy. Okay, so now this is a relationship that absolutely needs to have goals. You have to physically exhaust masculine energy. You have to work out, go conquer the world together. Okay, because if you don't, this channel turns very, very destructive. This is masculine energy is the one that when it's ill placed, negative, it turns into physical fights and quarrels like that. Okay, it's masculine energy. Okay, can't get caught up on she's a woman. The behavior and the expression may be very masculine. I know you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so now we move to channel 3, which is her female is coalescing with his male. Perfect, bingo. Okay, all right. And then, which is a mixture of the two. And then the last channel is a role reversal. Her masculine energy is coalescing with his female energy. Now, this may look like she's a go-getter. She's a little bit more entrepreneurial. She's a little bit more active, even in the realm of finances, even the house structure. She's kind of like the head of the household. This is not a threat if the relationship is positive, because for some reason he supports her. If you ever seen the show Army Wives, it explains the whole concept that I'm talking about. The entire concept is explained in Army Wives. One of the couples, Joan, the black girl, the lady, she was more masculine. She was in the army and she wanted to be career orientated first and receive promotions. The dad, who was like her husband, was the father of their child. He was always at home carrying the baby around and starting to do his practice, his psychology or psychiatrist practice around the baby. So he was like the dommy, I call it. He was the dad mom. You see what I'm saying? That was a role reversal. That show was cleverly depicting the relationship types. Okay. All right. So how we know this is real? Let's get into some Jay-Z, Beyonce, and show you why they are a power couple. All right. Oh, before I do that, let's validate this whole thing about this 4. Okay. So I want you to understand, when I say there are only 4 relationship types, I'm not lying. You can see this within nature. Okay. We can see, start at the top right corner. We will see the 4 seasons. Okay. In the middle, at the top we have the 4 elements, which every zodiac sign falls under. Okay. And then in spirituality, we get the 4 main archangels. In our regular terrestrial world, guess what we get? We get 4 cardinal directions. Inside of your brain, your skull of yours, you get 4 lobes that processes all data. Okay, this is a fact. Let's go into your heart. Since you say, I love you with all my heart, it's Valentine's Day. You have 4 chambers in your heart. Okay, now, like I said, at the bottom in the middle, you got 4 blood types. You got the channels of energy that I just talked about. You have to know your harmony or disharmony, because guess what? The only way that you're going to manifest yourself as a family dynamic is what? Daddy, mommy, son, daughter. You're not going to go beyond that. You're just going to repeat the process at that particular point and have more sons and have more daughters. That's it. So the family unit is the tetragrammaton, the 4. Okay? You're not going to go past that. So your relationship types must be what I'm telling you. This is a science, man. Okay? All right. So let's get into Jay-Z. Born on 12/4. That's what y'all let me slip and put Puffy's information up here yesterday. 12/4/69. I want to take a note that Jupiter is by the leg of the Virgin. Virgo, like I said, you should be going ding, 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 because you know Beyonce is the Virgin. Okay? Interesting, because the moon for Jay-Z is also around the Virgin. The moon represents the female energy. This means in his life is something about the female Virgo that he will be, because the moon rules emotions. Now dig it, that he's emotionally connected to. Okay, very important to understand. Excuse me. And we'll speed it up almost 12 years. Okay, let's just call it 11 years and 9 months. All right. Beyonce's birthday, we see Venus is by the leg of the Virgin. We also see Saturn. We also see Jupiter. Okay. Now this is very interesting because Jupiter takes on average almost a year. Okay, almost 12 years to make one full circle. Okay, so it's back in the same region of space where it was 11 years and 9 months prior on Jay-Z's birthday. So she's carrying the same imprint of Jupiter that he has as well. Okay, but I want to pay attention to Venus is right there in the same position where Jupiter was when Jay was born, because Jupiter has an energy of abundance. It has an energy of good fortune. It has an energy of success. Okay, this is the spatial imprint where Jay-Z is looking for his abundance factors right here in Virgo. His good fortune factors right here in Virgo. His success factor is right here in Virgo. Okay, so then Beyonce comes with his Venus. Venus is marriage partners, money, cooperation, and love. Very interesting. So when you take a planet of abundance and a planet with money and a planet that deals with love, they'll come together. And like I said yesterday, of course some shit gonna go down when it's $1 billion on the elevator. You have to understand this. This is when the stars align for real. That's why our tagline here is where the stars meet the stars. Hip hop astrology, where the stars meet the stars. Okay, so they're in perfect alignment. Listen, on this webinar, I am going to show you some power couples, Diddy and Cassie. Okay, I'm going to show you D Wade and Gabrielle Union. I'm gonna show you how these two, D Wade and Gabrielle Union, have the same things going on that Diddy and Cassie do, and they're both in what appears to be happy marriages. I'm gonna show you. Okay. I'm going to show you the elder statesmen of relationships and stateswoman. All right. By far, I think my favorite, for real. They on mental science. All right. Will Smith, Jada Pinkett Smith, going to show you. And then, like I said, we're going to take a dark, twisted fantasy. We're going to go down a dark rabbit hole we got to get into the science of Ike Turner, Tina Turner. I have to show you women, men as well, abuse factors in relationships. Excuse me. And then also we're going to get into Chris Brown and Rhianna. All right. And who was really the modern day Ike and Tina. I'm going to show you how Chris Brown and Rhianna has something in common and synonymous with Ike Turner and Tina Turner. And I'm going to show you this thing. All right. I'm going to show you. So what I didn't do yet, like I did yesterday, what I should have made it at the top of the video is I apologize. My sensitive side apologizes to Rhianna and then Chris Brown for using the old image of the past. But it is just my duty, my divine duty, to teach humanity about the spiritual laws of compatibility. If I could show you that, and I will in this webinar, that Chris Brown and Rhianna has the classic marker that shows that it's going to be abusive and very it's going to be fights, then they may have not went into a relationship had they had prior knowledge, or at least if they had the knowledge prior, they could have had some type of conflict resolution plan in motion already, because it's definitely likely to occur when you look at the energies. Okay. So ladies, get your tail inside of this webinar. Brothers, get inside this webinar. Listen, when you look at that Venus thing, your money partner is supposed to be your love partner, man. I'm not making it up. I'm just showing you. Your money partner is supposed to be your love partner. Your love partner is supposed to be your money partner. It's the same thing. Okay. And so we got to really, really, really wake up and look, because I just showed you J and B. All right. So listen, Thursday, the 18th, the first initial email is going to go out and say, hey, join this free webinar. Just click here. Only thing you got to do is just click on it. I got your email once you click on it. Okay. Then Thursday, the 25th, next week, I'm going to send another email out. It's going to all general emails. Hey, get on this list. If you already clicked on the list, don't worry. I got you. But I'm trying to get everybody in my network. Get here. I'm telling you, get here. All right. Then Saturday, the 27th, it's going to be like, yo, in 24 hours from now, the webinar is starting. What you going to do? Click here. That's going to be my last email to the general populace. If you didn't click on that link already, on Saturday, the 27th. All right. Then Sunday, the 28th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, the details to the webinar, the link, and the conference call is going to be there. Okay. I'm going to show you this. So ladies, be in the building. Brothers, be in the building. This whole thing is feminine. For real, for real. Why are you saying that? I'm saying that because when you go back to the Venetian rule, the money and the love and the marriage, that's a female principle, man. When dudes get money, what do? They want to get flashy for women. They want to make their girl look nice, or they want to go make it rain. Okay? That's a female principle, man. All right. That's why yin is my favorite. All right. So anyway, if you need me, get at me. The key for today, which was yesterday as well. So the key for today is going to be don't deny the heat. That's the key that's in the book. Shout out to DJ Khaled. We the best astrology. All right. Don't deny the heat means don't deny special chemistry. But I'm talking, how can you determine the chemistry? Okay. And I can do that. I have a graph. Remember in school, they taught us about the XY axis, right? X going across means how many interactions you have. And Y, if it's going up, then that means it's a positive score. If it's going down below the X axis, that means it's -1, -2, -3. In my system, I have developed the XY axis to show you, like Jay-Z and Beyonce, for example. Let's call that Jupiter and Venus. Let's call that a positive interaction. So when I'm measuring this thing and I'm looking, I'm saying, oh, there go a +1. Let's say the next one is down. Okay. It goes back down to 0. Let's say the next one is up, back up to 1. The next one is up, back up to 2. The next one is down, back up to 1. So the pattern of interactions start to create this heartbeat. But yet you that people to be like, I love you with all my heart. Man, get out of here. You don't even know what the heart do. You don't even know how the heart is made. And that don't mean that you can't love. But all I am saying is, if you have an inner yearning to want to know how this works, You should know. You're in the age of enlightenment where you must know. Your soul must evolve to want to know. Raise your hand, Chris Brown. Raise your hand, Rhianna, if you want to go through abusive patterns. Anybody, raise your hand if you want to go through, whether it be physical abuse, emotional abuse, or these non-boring, stale-ass relationship patterns. Okay? You don't want to do that. You don't. Get the self-activation workbook, My Astrology Coach. Know yourself. Stop being ignorant, because that's a problem. You need me? Get at me. Peace.
Prophecy is what we all have to go by now.